Hi again, Ian Dainty here with 101 marketing questions for business growth. Today we're at question 52, which is a more than halfway through, and we'll keep going along over the next few months and make sure that we get them all done. And then question 52 is, do you know why B2B companies buy? Now, there's 5 reasons why they buy, and most people don't understand them or see what they can do to bring their value proposition to these companies, and that's what we want to look at today. So what you want to be is the company on the right, and I know you may not have a big building like that. You may just be on your own or a very small company. But really, what you probably want to do is sell the one that has the helicopter on the roof. And so B2B companies buy for specific reasons. And here's one that I liked. This is from want to thank Proteus B2B for this. Is we've talked several times over the past years, and I think we're ready to make a decision. That's what it seems like, doesn't it? That the guy in the wheelchair was a young man when you first started to talk to this company, and now they're very old. But the B2B cycle is long, and we want to look at why and how you can shorten it. And the best way to shorten it is to understand why B2B companies buy. So there are 5 reasons why B2B companies buy. First one is improved performance. And what that means is there's 3 categories. What you can do to help increase their revenues or profits, which is what I help companies do. Help them decrease expenses through the types of information and software or services that you provide, or give them an increase in productivity and improvement in their productivity. And all of these things you should be able to put numbers on. It's key that you put numbers on how you help these companies buy. Maybe you give them increased opportunities. What does this mean? Well, 4 areas where you can give a company increased opportunities. You can help them produce new products. You can help them enter new markets. Or maybe you can help them even get into a whole new business. And maybe you can help them through expansion. So 4 areas where you can give them increased opportunities. Maybe you can give them a competitive advantage. And you must understand how your solution has a competitive advantage, and this will help you show your customers, your clients, your solution, what it is, and what the competitive advantage is. And it's a very powerful way to help you form your unique value proposition. 3 different ways you can give your show how your product or services give a competitive advantage, either through differentiation, show them how they can differentiate their products and services. Very few companies know how to do this well. Maybe they're the lowest cost provider in their market, or maybe they're in a niche market and you can show them how you can expand that market or how you can really penetrate that market. The fourth one is risk mitigation, and there's 2 ways that risk mitigation comes in. One is, of course, if you've got a piece of software or anything you're going to introduce to a company, there's risk involved. They have to change the way they're doing things. So how do you mitigate that risk? That's, if you're going to implement an ERP system or any piece of software, even if you're going to help them change their ways like I do, help them change their ways they market, help them get better lead generation. There's risk to that because they have to change the way that they do their business. So what you want to do is mitigate that risk by helping them as much as possible, stepping them through the process. Now, the other way for risk mitigation is if their company is at risk. And I have a great story about that. I worked with a security company once, and what they did is they would sit outside and they would, with their laptops, and they would penetrate a company's computer system. And they used to deal with small banks in the U.S., and it's been a while since I talked to them, but one day they were sitting outside and they were talking to this president, or sorry, they were trying to break into the bank's security system, and they did. And what they found out was unbelievable. They phoned the president or the actually chairman of the board right away and said, "We need to talk to you 7 o'clock tomorrow morning." It was about 8 o'clock at night when they'd done this. "We need to talk to you at 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. This is serious." The chairman of the board didn't know what to do. Anyway, they met in his office at 7 o'clock. The security company pulled out it was my client, pulled out a piece of paper and threw it on the chairman's desk, and he almost fainted right there. It was the way to break into their safe, the numbers that they needed to break into their safe, and so the chairman almost fainted, and he says, you need some help in this risk mitigation. So that was a huge risk. Okay, they were able to get the combination to the safe just by breaking into their system, and if they could, a number of other people could too. So if you can help somebody with that, you are really mitigating risk. And the last one that most people forget about are personal wins. And personal wins can be described in this uh, graphic here, where there's four things. Okay, you've got you at the top, where you could lose or win, and the buyer could win or lose along the side. So let's look at each one of these, starting at the bottom right, which is I win, you lose. Now, this is one you never really want to have, because it says you're trying to beat the buyer in some way. In the long run, you'll lose the lifetime value of that particular client. Number two, going clockwise, I lose, you lose, of course, is terrible. Just a terrible way, and you better not get into that. That's when you get into arguments with clients. Now, if you have a terrible client, you may want to lose them, and you lose that revenue, but you also gain in the fact you don't put up with their nonsense anymore. But so that's the one way. And in the top right, or top left rather, I lose, you win, is one situation where you may want to do that in the sense that in an introductory product, maybe you just break even on a product or you give something away. We should be giving something away anyway to show people what we can do in this day and age. But maybe you want to give them a product at cost until, and that's just or a small service at cost. And that way, you're losing a bit because you're not getting any revenue or any profit out of it. But what you're trying to do is show them what you can do, and then you can charge more for your other services. But you have to tell them that. You have to tell them, hey, this is an introductory offer. This is not what we normally charge. If it's a product, you can say, well, give them a little something small for a small price and then go into a bigger product. But if it's a service, you got to be careful that you do tell them. And then, of course, the one we want to get in is I win, you win. And this is a relationship, of course, you want to build with all your clients. And so there is a distinction between wins and what I call results. Results are what organizations get. Wins are what people get. In results, the impact of your product or service on the organization has on the business process of your customer. Okay, where win is the fulfillment of a promise made to yourself, made to this particular individual. You must spend time on that. Results are tangible, measurable, and quantifiable. Wins are not usually. They're usually intangible, not usually measurable or quantifiable. Things like, people like me better, or I have a good chance of getting a promotion. Now you can measure and quantify that. Or I have more power now. Now that may not be measurable, quantifiable. So those kinds of things are what, or now I have more time off, which you can measure. But that's what you want to give people. Results are corporate, wins are personal. So you want to understand what the wins are for your particular client and how you can help them succeed on a personal level. Most people forget about this, and this is really how you get business. This is the real key you should be working on. If you have any questions, please let me know at my email address or my phone number below. And please comment on this and like it. And please leave your comments so that other people can see it and I can answer your comments. Appreciate it. Thanks a lot. Until next time.